why I asked. Does it go by itself? Can you read the inscription, Ryan?
Today is January 10, 1986, the prelude to the 100th anniversary of the Cooks and Waiters annual dinner. We have a special affair tonight. It's put on by Charles White, and Charles White does it not for the Cooks and Waiters as a whole, but as the crew chiefs. He entertains the crew chiefs, and he does this all on his own. Charlie goes out and he does all the work. He provides all the food, and it's all on him. Charlie, would you care to explain why and how you're doing this?
Well, this started 25 years ago with Tony Souza and myself going to dinner, discussing what kind of problems we were going to run into in the next couple of days. And from there we added one or two people, Hal Montazon, Monty Rollins, and it got to be 6 or 8, and we came up to the club and I started supplying ducks. Fortunately, I belong to a very, very fine duck club north, and if I can't shoot enough ducks, why the fellows belonging to the club help me along. And I enjoy doing this. It just gives me a great deal of pleasure to come down here and entertain the fellows in this way, because those fellows working in the galley do one hell of a lot of work over the weekend and never complain a bit. And that's my way of saying thank you to them.
Charlie, I realize that you're being very generous and what have you. If you really told us the cost of this dinner, would you estimate that it would be close to maybe $50 a duck?
If I estimated the cost, I'd die.
Well, Charlie, in spite of the cost, we know that you want to do it. We all appreciate it. And if it wasn't for you, there would be one night before the Cooks and Waiters dinner that would really be shot. Charlie, for the Cooks and Waiters, all the crew chiefs, thanks a million.
It's my pleasure.
Story I gave her something she didn't use as a cemetery plot.
There you are. Yeah. Were you there at the my father used to call him Samuel's place in George.
That is it. Looks like Holland Smith. Yeah.
Remember Holland Smith? Man, anyway.
Holly Man. Oh, he's the one that killed MacArthur that goes shove it. 12, 14.
What did MacArthur say?
He isn't the only one, but the only one MacArthur heard.
He also
MacArthur did hear him.
He also told me to shove it once. Matt Smith,
Hey, let me talk to you after, Tony, huh?
Yeah, okay.
What's this mean?
Where we do the show and rehearse.
Oh, my God.
Oh. 4 o'clock, and I arrived about 4:15. And he read me up and down. You think I was in uniform? He said, "Young man, do you know what time it is?" And I said, "No, sir. This is Holly Matt Smith." He said, "It's 4:15.
Man, I hope the board was smart enough to divvy it up.
Four ducks in there. He wanted another one.
Charlie!
Elegant.
And Marin's in the picture with everybody?
Right, never gets out. Never gets wrong.
Charlie, how are you enjoying your duck?
Absolutely fantastic.
How about you? Oh, you're having steak. You're a turncoat.
Cooked it myself. I had steak too.
You had steak too. Another turncoat. How are you enjoying your duck, Ben?
Outstanding. One of the best ducks I've ever had.
All right, what do you guys think of your duck? How was the duck?
No better duck in town.
Boo!
Don't you believe these guys?
Boo!
Don't you believe these guys? Because there's one guy here who's very happy.
Oh,
he has an old
What did you
Corinthian.
pay him?
Well, he has an old Corinthian song. He'd like to start. All of you join in.
Yeah.
Sing it, Russ. Sing it.
Come on, sing with. This is the old theme song of the Corinthian Yacht Club. Back in the 30s and the 40s and maybe even the 50s. The vocabulary of our country has been changed lately, so we haven't sung it, but I'm going to sing it.
Okay.
It goes to the tune of the Sidewalks of New York. It goes high tide, low tide, all around the bay. The yachts, they are so pretty, and Englishmen are so gay. So sing y'all together, having lots of fun. The Corinthians are the people of the shores of Gilderon.
Beautiful.
I've got Doc Romick here. Doc, of course, is going to be the honored member, the member that we all celebrate in honor of his being the oldest cook and waiter for our 100th anniversary. Number one. Number two, Doc was a Commodore in 1950 and 51. Being the oldest cook and waiter, I'm sure Doc can give us a little background on the cooks and waiters. Doc, how about it?
No, you don't. On the cooks and waiters, I joined the club in '36, working as a punk kid before that. And we were serving dinners here Saturday night, and then the cooks and waiters were an institution that started with a club until 1930, when the club had a little money and they decided to hire caterers for the annual dinner. Well, the members were so incensed about this that they practically had a revolution around here. So as you see on the tombstone, that there's a date 1930 and then resurrected 1931. Well, 1931 was a time that they went back to being the members' volunteers. Now, in this time, since the time when I joined, I sailed with Mother Metman, Dago Dondero, Happy Loon, on the good ship Bonita. And then Chris Struven, who was a past Commodore. And I've been around a few boats around through the area. And then in 1948 to 50, I was Vice Commodore, and then 50 to 51, I was Commodore. And it's been a very, very pleasant experience being in a club 50 years. Of course, you realize you're getting a little bit old when you see some of these youngsters around here, and you come in, you don't know anybody. That's the funny part of it. But anyway, the Corinthian Yacht Club is an institution that was spawned out of the San Francisco Yacht Club, who was the oldest on the coast. We're the next oldest on the coast. And they were spawned because they wanted to be alone. For years, they were a stag club. There were no women allowed at all. The woman would come over on Sunday or Saturday morning, pardon me. And at 6 o'clock Saturday night, they took the ferry boat and had to go home. Then the members would come back here and get horribly drunk.
They want you to do a dirty movie and then you go and do it right. There are two dirty movies and it's all, and Jerry's last year. Okay, God. Come on, honey, hold smile there. No. 100 years. Smile, Ed. Smile, you're on camera. That was one of the lights,
All right, go over and get Winston here.
Not true. You can't not Saturday.
Good health. Drink to that.
I don't know, but anyway, I can't see who you are. I really think you're not bad.
Wherever you are, turn the light off.
And the Bears have always been good. That'd be a good idea. They really deserve. They haven't been in the playoffs until 60. Looks like blackmail.
like to tell, we'd be more than happy to hear it. Number two, if you can get these guys to listen to you tell a story, you're a better man than I am. Let's have that. Who wants to be first?
Everybody can be a better man than you.
Who wants to be first?
First what?
First storyteller.
Let's be open and honest about this thing.
First storyteller. There was this lone survivor of a shipwreck in the South Pacific, and he's cast away up on this island. The lone survivor. But he had two friends, a dog and a pig, that also survived. He was there 6 months, and at the end of 6 months, that pig began to look better and better and better. But the dog would snarl and growl every time he tried to approach the pig. One day, he goes down the beach, and there's this beautiful blonde. She's been washed up. She's lying there, her hair's out, her blue eyes blinking. He gives her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, brings her to life, and she says, "Oh, sir, I owe my life to you. What can I do for you?" He says, "Will you take that goddamn dog for a walk?"
Talking about dogs, I got one more story.
Put a dog in there, man.
These two drunks are walking down the
movie.
These two drunks are walking down the beach, and they got half a heat on. Christ, they've been drinking all day long. They've been sitting in the sun, and all of a sudden, this gal's been swimming, and she just gets in all kinds of trouble, and she's dog paddling. She just can't get out of the surf, and she finally, this big wave comes over and dumps her on the ground, and they can see that she's practically drowned. So this one drunk turns to the other one. He says, "You gotta get her going." He says, "Jesus Christ!" He says, "Give her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation." And the guy is so goddamn stoned, he doesn't know what he's doing, and he reaches down on her pussy, and he's giving her... And the other guy's running to get the doctor, and he comes running back in 10 minutes and says, "I can't find the doctor, I can't find a doctor." He says, "Well, come on, you take over." He said, "But watch it, wait till you smell her breath."
Today is actually the first day of the preparations for the Cooks and Waiters Stag Dinner. Our annual dinner, which is number 100 this year. This morning around 10 o'clock, 1000 hours our time, the crew checked in. That is the crew of the Cooks and Waiters who are doing the work. At 11 o'clock, they will check in with their crew chiefs. Now each division has been assigned a crew chief, and each one of those Cooks and Waiters will check in with their crew chiefs to get their assigned duties. At 1300 hours, it's chow time.
Here they come. Here they come.
Thank you, Bill.
Now we better start counting. Here they come. You want to give me a count out there, somebody?
Bill with 100.
Well, we're just off on a wheelchair.
Definitely got to get a still. I wonder if the person was here a couple of years ago.
It's over here taking pictures.
They expect to have, you know, a few people that are just not going to make it, and that's with the average age in the crew, there's no choice.
All right, this is a general discussion about the Cooks and Waiters. Whether you've been one for a long time, or whether you're just a member of the club and you've enjoyed the work of the Cooks and Waiters, I'd like to get some ideas on what you think of the situation, its values, or any of its degradations, so to speak. Russ, this is Russ Snyder.
Well, I joined the club in 1940, and they wouldn't even let me into the Cooks and Waiters until 1943 because it was such a select group. You had to prove yourself before you ever got into this group. I mean, just being a member of the club didn't get you into this group. This is a finite group. I don't know how the hell Marin ever got in it at all, but apparently he did. And then, by God, if he didn't start running it. Now, that's beyond me. I don't understand that at all. Don't take the mic away. I'm not through yet.
That's what you think. That's what you think. Bob Crowley. Bob Crowley's been a member of the club for many, many years.
a matter of fact, I signed Matosich's application to recommend him, and I've been regretting it ever since. Matter of fact, yeah, I brought you over here and showed you the teal, and that's how things came together. So it's been a lot of fun over the years, and you've done a lot for the club, Marin.
Bob, have you got anything special to say about the cooks and waiters and their activities?
That's where I learned how to wash dishes.
Now let's go to Ro Fontana. Ro.
I remember the cooks and waiters back in the 20s. Just the same as now, a bunch of reprobates working to have a good time.
That's insulting.
Oh, no.
Is that all you've got
That's
to say?
all I'm saying.
His father was a Commodore here at the club for many years, and the Fontana family are quite prominent in yachting around San Francisco Bay. Now let me get a word out of, if I can.
Thank you.
George Bertisevich. I don't want to hear any more from Fontana.
Going back to the 60s, I can remember when the cooks and waiters sitting at the tables was a real project where we had to string it. We had to put the tables together by hammer and nail, and then we had regular sawhorses. We set them up and nail them and put the roll of paper down for the tablecloths, and it required quite a bit of time, maybe 2 days.
Isn't that nice now, George? We have tablecloths, napkins, real silverware. Now, I'd like to hear a word from Bob Bain.
Yugoslavians are all alike.
Bob Bain has been Moneybags, the treasurer of the cooks and waiters, and God knows how long, but anyway, since 1940 or thereabouts. Bob?
Well, they couldn't afford an order, so they couldn't fire me. When they must have had an order, they fired me. However, in the cooks and waiters, I think that my best times were when the real old timers were there, like Eddie Hamburger, that you cooked, and he put on a split pea soup and burned it. Tony Souza, Holland Bloody Murder, but he got those roast beefs cooked anyway. We had a lot of fun years and years ago, and I think we still have a lot of fun. And the main thing, as far as I'm concerned, we're all getting old. I think the kind of guy under 70, we better get the young guys in this club and start the nucleus of the keep the cooks and waiters going for the next 150 years.
Thanks, Bob. Now, Bob mentioned the split pea soup. I recall occasion when we would cook the soup on Saturday, let it steam over for the night, and the next day, Sunday, we'd warm it up and fix it up for service. We had a couple of cats around the club, and one cat got a little nosy one night, got into the split pea soup, and the next morning we found it floating in it. Don't ask me whether we served the soup or not, but it was really good that day. Doc, you got something else to say?
That cat belonged to Emil, the steward, and he was... All they did was take him up by the tail and drain him, and then they served the soup. It was very excellent. Nobody noticed the fur or hair or anything else. It was a very lovely dinner.
What you're looking at in the background is the result of about 7 to 8 hours of preparation. The cooks and waiters in charge of setting up the dining room started Saturday morning, and off and on, it's not a steady 7 or 8 hour job, but off and on they do a little bit. They set the tables up, then they get the chairs, and then they get the linen on, and so on and so forth. And if you'll notice very carefully, everything is in precision order. All of the silverware is lined up this way, the glasses, the cups, the napkins. It's all done almost with it's done with a chalk line, actually. They actually use a chalk line to do it because I kind of give them hell if it isn't absolutely perfect. On the stage, you see the logo, the tombstone, which you've seen before. It is naturally our main logo, let's say, for the whole thing. The flags hanging above, they're signal flags, donated to us by the Navy. We've had them for many years. The pictures that you see on the wall are all pictures of the old days when the cooks and waiters were early in setting up this affair. There weren't very many people here, but They held the dinners in San Francisco. They held them outside. They held them every place, any place they could get a room. And all the pictures are mementos of the old days, way back into the 1890s and the early 1900s. I've got a man here from Southern California. He won't admit that he's freezing to death, and he won't admit that his blood is thinned out being down in Southern California, but he's up here for our 100th anniversary as our guest, and I'd like to have you meet Phil Harris. Phil, how are you?
All right, man. Part of that's right. Now, you know I'm not going to say bad words about San Francisco. You know, I mean, ooh, I feel, I love San Francisco, and you people know that because, you know, I first came here in 1924, but I am up here for this beautiful event that goes on today because I've been here a couple of times before, and they really do it right. They got great entertainment, and they have beautiful food, as you know, because look at these guys around in the white coats, and you can tell by looking around that belt buckle, man, that they like to eat. I'm talking about cornbread, corn pone, beans, man, and that barbecue, and I'm going to be with them this afternoon. I want to tell you something else. I want to thank them now because you really got to be somebody to get invited to this function.
Now, you all heard that, didn't you? We have a man that appreciates being here with us for our 100th anniversary, and Lord knows we're certainly happy to have him with us.
Well, I'll drink to that.
Oh, thank you, Phil. What can we get you for a good drink?
Whatever you're long on.
Whatever we're long on.
Right. You know.
All we did. They came in to taste it. Nobody else put it.
I can't come to you right now, Bob. Hold on. Hey, Dana, can you see what Bob wants in the dumpster?
No forks here.
Right here.
All right, get the other one.
How can you
Horseradish.
How can you make a horse?
Sure, make the horseradish.
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 How can you make a horseradish?
Gentlemen, on each of these occasions, before I do anything else, I would like to have the invocation, so will you please stand, and I will have Captain Gilbert, United States Navy, our Coast Representative, do the invocation. Captain Gilbert.
Thank you. Could we bow our heads, please? Dear God, we thank you for the chance to gather with good friends and share this fellowship, and we especially appreciate your gift of life. Amen.
Please remain standing. We will do the memorial for the deceased cooks and waiters and Corinthians and anybody else that we'd like to memorialize.
Oh, say, can you see, like an
waiter all that time. He was a cantankerous old bastard, but he was a hell of a nice guy.
I'm not, you're wondering what that is?
And I'd like to have...
John Malone here. Malone has
chicken shit outfit.
Yes, that's all right.
Is that all right?
That's good. That's good. All right.
That's good. That's all right.
be my swan song, and Monty Rollins is going to take over from here. I'll be around to help, but no more of this bullshit. Thank you, Charlie White. This next gentleman will bring back memories, every last one of you, possibly excepting my number 2 son sitting down here, who was much younger than most of you. But he will bring back memories of your youth, when you were catting around, when you were dancing, romancing, and what have you. I would like to have you all meet and enjoy my good friend, my so-called buddy, Phil Harris. Phil?
Gentlemen, I drink to your health when we're together. I drink to your health when we're alone. I've drunk to your health so goddamn much lately, I'm about to ruin my own. Comrade, that's a switch. I can't get it down. Time I met Marin. I heard about him, see, so I walked up to his office and I said, is he here? They said, no, he's across the street from the bar. I went over to the bar and I said, is Marin here? And they said, yeah, you're standing on him. I don't care because I'm getting to the age now to where I prefer food over sex. And Alice has just installed a mirror over our dining room table. I just want to tell you once more. I want to tell all of you fine guys what a pleasure and how much fun I'm having this afternoon to be with a lot of friends that I haven't seen in a long time. And all I can say is, they told me in show business, when you're doing good, get off.
Now, if there are any jugglers here, you like this first trick for the intricate timing. If there's any drug addicts here, you like the pretty colors.
You're a tranquil flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in freedom you'll wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, and there's never a boast or brag. Should all acquaintance be forgot, keep your
Ready, Scott? Ready, George. Let's do it. I learned this in Oakland.
I'll fight you!
Come here, tough guy.
George!
Come on.
Move that out of the way.
This is a new trick for me. So if I do drop the apple, or kill the cameraman, sorry.
You're going to faint, not here, I hope. You're going out there now.
But my recollection of these goons behind me are past, or what we should call staff commodores of the Drinking Yacht Club, and we've got them here on the stage. What do you think we can do with them?
What do you think we can do with them? What? What do we do with them? What do we do with them, past commodores?
Shall we hang them? No! What do we do with them?
Okay, now, we've got all the Commodores, all the talent that was here for the show. Nothing, a thing like this could never happen anywhere except here in this great land of ours. And I'm not throwing a big speech at you because I think you all appreciate it, understand it, that we can have this kind of a celebration for the 100th birthday of the Corinthian Yacht Club. And I think it's only right that we should close by having everybody sing two songs that you all know that express the way we feel about this great land of ours.
Outside, everybody out there.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you very much for coming. I appreciated your attendance. I appreciated your loyalty. Gentlemen, I'm sorry